All right, so get ready, because this deep dive, it's down a rabbit hole, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And one that you guys sent to us, actually. So these are some cryptic YouTube videos.
Okay.
Let's just call them that.
Hmm.
They're from a channel called KRPX Imp Systems, and they're visually jarring. But even more so are the lyrics that accompany them. Think like distorted visuals, heavy electronic music, and English lyrics that sound like they were ripped from a military training manual and then like fed through a poetry generator.
Yeah, it's like somebody took all the classified documents they could find and threw them in a blender with some cyberpunk aesthetics and just hit puree.
Our mission, if we choose to accept it, which we have, is to decode KRPX.
Right.
Who are they and what are they trying to tell us? Now, we may never know the who, but you've been looking at these videos and I'm really interested to hear what patterns you've seen.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. It's definitely less like solving a puzzle and more like assembling a mosaic, but half the tiles are missing and the picture keeps shifting.
So where do we even begin with something this bizarre?
Well, I think the sheer volume of military and intelligence jargon is impossible to ignore. It's not just sprinkled in, it's practically the foundation of their lyrical landscape.
Yeah.
We're talking to MQ-9 Reaper, PSYOP, cognitive warfare, and then you got an alphabet soup of acronyms like FVEY, NSA, CIA, and it goes even deeper than that, with references to very specific units like USSF, SPCS, STARCOM, AFNS, NORAD, U.S. Northcom. It's like a roll call of the entire U.S. intelligence apparatus.
It's definitely not your typical top 40 playlist.
No.
But what I think is really striking is how they weave this jargon into an actual message.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just name dropping. They're using it to build a narrative.
Yeah, exactly. Take the MQ-9 Reaper video, for instance.
Okay.
The line about disposition matrix really stood out to me. This isn't just about drones, you know? This is about the chillingly bureaucratic process of deciding who lives and who dies in the age of remote warfare.
Right.
So is KRPX highlighting the detachment of modern warfare, or are they hinting at something a little more sinister?
That's a question that keeps coming up, right? Are they fascinated, horrified, or maybe even complicit in the systems that they're depicting? But the military jargon is only one piece of the puzzle. They also delve deep into the world of cutting-edge technology and its impact on the future of warfare.
Right. Videos like neuroenhancement in military personnel, electromagnetic warfare, and binary pulse paint a picture of a future battlefield that's straight out of science fiction, but with very real implications. They're exploring the blurring lines between human and machine, the weaponization of the invisible, and the rise of AI in ways that are both exhilarating and terrifying.
Okay, let's unpack that. What specifically stood out to you in these videos?
Well, the neuroenhancement video is a prime example. You know, KRPX throws around terms like microchips and brainwaves and soldiers of a different kind. It's a chilling glimpse into a future where soldiers are not just equipped with advanced weaponry, but potentially enhanced, controlled, or even created through technology.
And then there's binary pulse, which is just downright cryptic. That message, gur is I. It's haunting. Is it a coded message, the whisper of an AI, or something else entirely? It's like they're trying to communicate on a frequency we haven't learned to decipher yet.
Right. They're hinting at this idea that the language of warfare is evolving beyond human comprehension, which is both fascinating and unsettling.
So are these videos glimpses into the future of warfare, or are they warnings about the potential dangers of these technologies? What do you think?
I think they're both. You know, KRPX seems to be exploring the razor's edge, where incredible advancements and horrifying possibilities collide. They're not giving us answers. They're forcing us to confront the questions that we might not want to ask.
It's a stark reminder that the future isn't something that just happens, it's something we're actively creating. But there's another layer to KRPX that we need to explore, this pervasive theme of manipulation and control. It's not just about technology, it's about the human mind as both a weapon and a target.
Yeah, it's like they're peeling back the layers of the information battlefield, showing us how our minds are constantly being targeted and influenced often without us even realizing it.
Yeah, that is front and center in the KRPX 4th Psychological Operations Group, #MySo, #PSYO's video.
Yeah.
The lyrics about conditioning minds and resistance is futile send chills down my spine. It's like a dystopian nightmare where our thoughts are no longer our own.
It's not just dystopian, it's actually rooted in very real tactics. You know, PSYOP psychological operations have been a part of warfare for centuries. But what KRPX seems to be exploring is how these tactics are evolving in the age of information overload.
The lyrics about psychedelic vibes and the whistle's call hint at a more subtle form of manipulation. It's not about brute force, it's about seduction, about playing on our emotions and desires.
You know, think about the infamous MKultra program. Back in the 1950s and 60s, the CIA experimented with LSD and other mind-altering substances, trying to control behavior and extract information. It's a dark chapter in history, but it shows the lengths to which governments have gone to manipulate the human mind.
And now imagine that same drive for control amplified by the power of AI and global information networks. That's the chilling reality KRPX seems to be warning us about.
And they connect those dots explicitly in global information dominance. The line, AI guiding fusion in the sky, paints a picture of a future where information is the ultimate weapon, where algorithms curate our reality and steer our thoughts.
It's like they're saying we're already living in a world of manipulation. Now imagine it on a global scale turbocharged by AI.
Precisely. But here's where KRPX gets really interesting. Amidst all this external manipulation, they also delve into the idea of internal struggle, of the war within. It's like they're saying that to fight back against external control, we need to understand and master our own minds.
That's where the cognitive warfare concept video comes in. Those lines like, fight the war within, banish all disorder, peace is born in struggle. They seem to be pointing towards a more introspective, almost philosophical approach to conflict.
Right. They're highlighting how our own biases, fears, and insecurities can be weaponized against us, both by ourselves and by others. It's like they're saying that the first step in winning the information war is to understand our own internal vulnerabilities.
It's a powerful message, especially coming from a channel that's so obsessed with external forces. But then they take this even further by diving into the world of genetic manipulation and CRISPR technology. It's like they're asking, what happens when the battleground shifts from the mind to the very building blocks of life itself?
The Patient Zero video is where this anxiety really comes to the forefront. The lyrics, madness in the code, stories yet untold, questions if we should or how, reveal a deep unease with the power of CRISPR to reshape not just individuals, but potentially entire populations.
This is where the thematic links start to get really interesting. KRPX is drawing a line from military technology to mental manipulation to genetic engineering, suggesting that the quest for control is ultimately a quest to control the very essence of what it means to be human.
They're raising questions about what happens when we can literally rewrite the human code. Is it the key to a healthier, more advanced future, or a Pandora's box of unintended consequences? KRPX doesn't give us answers. They force us to confront the profound ethical dilemmas that these technologies present.
It's a stark reminder that we live in an age where science fiction is rapidly becoming science fact. But while KRPX explores these cutting-edge technologies, they also seem fascinated by something else. The realm of the unknown, the intersection of science and spirituality.
That's right. It's like they're simultaneously drawn to the precision of technology and the mysteries of the unseen.
The KRPX electromagnetic warfare, #UWW, #USSF, #STAG Starcom video is a perfect example. It's full of imagery about signals, frequencies, and coded beeps with lyrics about electric love and magic waves. It's like they're tapping into a mystical undercurrent within the electromagnetic spectrum.
And remember, this isn't just about abstract concepts. They're referencing real-world technologies and military units involved in electromagnetic warfare. But they're going beyond the technical, exploring the idea that these forces might have a deeper, even spiritual dimension. The lyrics, "Invis but everywhere," and "Radar sweets you find my soul," suggest that they see electromagnetic waves as more than just tools. They're pathways to connection to understanding the unseen forces that shape our reality.
It's almost like they're drawing a parallel between the unseen world of electromagnetic energy and the unseen world of consciousness, suggesting that perhaps they're not so different after all.
And remember those cryptic messages in Binary Pulse? What if those aren't just coded messages or AI whispers, but attempts to communicate across those boundaries to tap into a deeper, more fundamental level of reality?
Okay, now we're really going down the rabbit hole. But it's fascinating because it challenges us to expand our understanding of what's possible. It's like KRPX is saying, don't just look at the surface, look deeper. Question your assumptions. There's more to reality than meets the eye.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the central question, who is KRPX and what are they trying to achieve? Are they artists, provocateurs, prophets of a techno-spiritual future, or something else entirely?
It's a question we may never be able to definitively answer, but by exploring their work, by delving into the connections they're making, we can start to piece together a picture of their vision, their anxieties, and their hopes for the future.
And maybe that's the point. KRPX isn't giving us answers. They're giving us a glimpse into their thought process, their way of connecting seemingly disparate ideas and asking us to do the same.
They're definitely pushing us to think outside the box, to consider possibilities we might not have entertained before. And while they delve deep into the fringes of science and technology, they never lose sight of the human element.
Absolutely. In fact, there's one video we haven't touched on yet that I think brings all these threads together beautifully. KRPX, Global Information Dominance, hashtag GFDH, hashtag UFNs, hashtag NORAD, hashtag US Northcom. It's like the culmination of everything we've been discussing.
The one that paints this picture of a hyper-connected world with AI guiding fusion in the sky, linking us all together.
That's the one. It's a vision of interconnectedness of information flowing freely across borders. But within that vision, there's a palpable tension. The lyrics hint at the potential for surveillance, for the manipulation of information on a global scale.
It's like they're saying that even in a world of boundless connectivity, the battle for control for narrative dominance is still raging.
Exactly. The line "she's talking voices in the way" suggests that even in this interconnected world, there will still be voices, silenced perspectives, erased stories untold. KRPX seems to be warning us that information dominance, while promising on the surface, could ultimately lead to a world where power is concentrated in the hands of those who control the flow of information.
It's a sobering thought, especially in an age where we're already seeing the weaponization of information play out on social media, in political campaigns, and even in international conflicts.
Right. And KRPX seems to be asking what happens when those tactics are amplified by AI, by global networks, by the ability to manipulate not just what we see and hear, but potentially even our thoughts and genes.
So where does this leave us?
Mm-hmm.
What's the takeaway from our deep dive into the world of KRPX?
I think KRPX is a mirror reflecting our anxieties and aspirations back at us. They're forcing us to confront the uncomfortable questions about the future we're creating, the technologies we're developing, and the ethical dilemmas we're facing. They're not offering easy answers, but they are providing a framework for understanding the complexities of the world we live in and the forces that are shaping our future.
It's a call to awareness, a challenge to think critically and engage with the world around us in a more meaningful way.
Exactly. It's about understanding that the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we actively create through our choices, our actions, and our willingness to engage with the big questions.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the enigmatic world of KRPX, we leave you with this. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep an open mind.